All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. On behalf of the Alpharetta Fire Department, I'd like to thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the achievements of several outstanding members of our department. Promotion ceremonies are special because they not only recognize hard work, dedication, and professional growth, but also the commitment of the families and the loved ones who support our firefighters every day. Today, we honor individuals who stepped up to take on greater responsibility and leadership within our organization. We know they will continue to serve this community with integrity, courage, and pride. We do want to take a moment to recognize and thank some of our city leadership who are with us today. Mayor Jim Gilvin, Councilman Dan Merkel, Councilman Doug Dorito, Councilman Hypes, and City Administrator Chris Lagerblum. Your support makes a tremendous difference for our department, and we are honored to have you here to celebrate alongside us. Lastly, we are privileged to have several of our retirees in attendance. Will you gentlemen please stand? FAE Gears, I saw you. The traditions, values, and foundation you built continue to guide us today. Thank you for your service and for paving the way for the firefighters being recognized here this morning. Please welcome City Administrator Chris Lagerblum.
Good morning. You're going to get me very brief this morning because if you happened to watch last night's meeting, you realize that I didn't have much of a voice then, and I tried to save what I could say for this morning. But thank you all for attending. These are special days for our department, special days for our city. This one's particularly special because it forges our future as a different style department, but one I think that's poised to serve Alpharetta well in the future. After working with our city council and our other leadership and our other public safety executives, the movement forward with returning to a model of both a police chief and a fire chief, I think is going to be a model that will sustain us into the future. And selfishly, it also allowed me to grab a phenomenal leader that was a leader in your department and bring him closer to our city administration as we work to lead the city into the future. So I don't want to go without saying or without forgetting just how meaningful Chief Robinson's contribution has been to the city and how meaningful his contribution is going to continue to be. So we celebrate also with him this morning. But today we're obviously here to celebrate fire. Congratulations to those that are going to be promoted today. Again, I told you were going to get about 2 minutes, and that's about all you're going to get because that's about all I have. But I want to tell you just a quick, I'll end just quickly with a story that dates back a couple decades. And it goes back a couple decades to the building on Wet Bridge Road that is about to return to be the fire headquarters again. And a couple decades ago, it was the fire headquarters building, and I had the opportunity to spend a good bit of time there from time to time. I think the Police Athletic League was operating out of there, or whatever. I don't exactly remember. But I can tell you that at one point I had my very young son. I only have one. Many of you know I talk about Paul all the time. But I only have one, and he was very, very young, and he was doing what kids do, which is to be rambunctious at the fire station. And he came across, I don't know if any of you, probably the old timers remember it, there was a toy fire truck in the front lobby of the fire station. And it was one of those, I think, pedal ones that was metal. And usually if you'd walk past Chief Bates, who was sitting on the bench smoking his pipe, and you got into the fire headquarters building, there was this fire truck, and in it had a fire bear. And this fire bear was dressed in fire uniform and a fire hat that said Chief. And my son was obviously mesmerized with this toy, to the point that it was insisted upon him that he take this bear when we leave the fire station. And reluctantly, that bear went home with us that day. And that bear, believe it or not, has been with us ever since. That bear has traveled to South Florida. That bear has been with him as he grew up. I brought the bear in today because I want to give it back to the fire department and give it back to the chief and say thank you. It's kind of a special day for our department. It's a special day for our family as well as he turns 21 today. So we got him from 2 to 21. Now we got to get him to the next stage. But I'll say congrats, Chief. And if you'll allow me to, I'm going to let you take back the bear to the same fire headquarters that it left a couple decades ago. So thank you all very much. And here you go. We have a picture with the fire bear. All right, there you go. Thank you.
Well, good morning. How do you follow up a fire bear like that? That was good. So my role today is to speak on behalf of our newly promoted Fire Chief, Brad Deckinger, and I will say that it's an absolute honor to be able to do that. But I would be remiss, as Mr. Lagerman has already pointed out, to not take a moment to recognize the importance of this day as it relates to having a promotional ceremony for the Alpharetta Fire Department, not the Alpharetta Fire Department as a part of the public safety agency, but as your own independent, full-fledged fire department. You've always provided phenomenal, top-notch service to our community. That's not going to be any different from those being served by you. They will continue to see just the professionals that you are and how really good you are at what you do and how much you care about what you do and who you do it for. But there is significance today, obviously, in bringing back the team identity that a lot of you in this room have been kind of longing for, honestly, for 18 years or so. And so we're coming back kind of full circle, if you will. As a matter of fact, I thought he's not here today, but if Chief Sanders were here, I was going to have him come out and play Amazing Grace for us, but he couldn't be here, of course. Only a few of you get that, I get it, but if you know, you know. So anyway, I cannot imagine, though, a better person to lead you into the future than Chief Deckinger. You know, the first time I got a glimpse of his leadership, I got to know him a little bit as a captain. We'd had breakfast together a couple times at the station and got to know him a little bit there. And for those of you that serve in leadership roles, you know, sometimes it's difficult to get people to tell you what they really think to your face. Not so much behind your back sometimes, but to your face to get an honest opinion. And we had gone through a little bit of a rocky time in the agency, especially on the fire side with some decisions that had been made. And so I saw Brad at, I think it was 81, and I pulled him aside because, again, I looked at him as a guy that could give me some good input, and I said, tell me what I can do to help with this and what could I have done better? Honestly, I asked, like, what could I have done better? And respectfully, he told me exactly what he thought and where I went wrong. And I can't tell you how much I greatly appreciated that and how I learned from that and how that made me a better leader when we had that conversation, and that always stuck in the back of my mind. And that's the first day I kind of noticed there was something different about Brad and his willingness to step up in a leadership role in a moment like that couldn't have been comfortable for him to do that. Now, after that, two other absolute confirmations about his worthiness and readiness to be a great leader is when I discovered his love for Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and the show The Office, two things that I very much love as well. As a matter of fact, I gave him the book recently, Somehow I'm Managed by Michael Scott, so you're without excuse now regarding your ability to lead moving forward. But seriously, Chief Deckinger encapsulates 3 C's that I think reflect a well-rounded, effective leader. And that first C is simply he cares. At the core of everything he does as a leader, he cares for everybody in this room, you especially in that uniform. He also cares for the citizens that we serve, and he cares for the city that we all get to have the privilege of serving in. You know, we all as leaders can be questioned our decisions, and that's part of the process. When you're a leader, our decisions are questioned. But one thing you can never question about Chief Deckinger is his core component, his decision-making matrix always very much involves how much he cares about you and what is best for you and those we serve and the organization. Now, another C is his character. You know, I received some great advice years ago when somebody told me that when you are looking to promote somebody to a high position, a high-level position, leading a team, or in this case, an entire organization, one thing that's especially important to consider is picking someone you feel confident will never bring negative attention to your team, that their character will always ensure they operate in a manner that is above reproach, and that is absolutely the case with Chief Deckinger. His character and integrity speaks for itself as a leader, but more importantly, as a man. Third C is simply competence. Character, caring, those are very important, but it's important to be good at what you do as well. You know, if I have to go to a surgeon to have an operation, that's great if they are caring and have a lot of character, but I need them to be good at actually doing that operation and being good at their job. And a well-balanced leader has that balance of caring and character, but also being, especially in his position, an expert at what they do. And I very much consider Chief Deckinger not only an expert in firefighting and in public safety, but also in leadership. But the really cool part about Brad is that he is also a learner. Like, he understands the importance of always striving to try to get better and the importance of learning. And we all know that true leaders are learners, and Brad is always learning and looking for ways to improve in his role. But let me add one more characteristic beyond the 3 C's that I think are especially important as it relates to his priorities. As much of all these things that I've said about him and described him as true, more than that, he is a family man. His love and commitment for Tia, Bronner, and Marlo is above none. And anybody that's ever worked with him knows how important the 3 of you are to him. And that's why it's especially cool to have you here today to be a part of this. So as much as I respect Brad as a leader, I respect him even more as a man who prioritizes his family, which leads to him also being a good leader. So with that said, it is my privilege today to introduce to you your new Alpharetta Fire Chief, Chief Brad Deckinger. As you see, he has his lovely family here to pin him. This to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. It's a great day. It's a truly great day. Let me begin by trying to tell you how honored and humbled I am to accept the position of Fire Chief. It's a tremendously important role, and this is a tremendously important moment in our department's history. To be a part of it is truly, truly a privilege. I'd like to say thank you to Chief Robinson, wherever he went. Sorry. Thank you. Mr. Lagerbloom, thank you. Mr. Mayor, Councilman Merkel, Councilman Hypes, Councilman Dorito, and of course the rest of council, thank you so much. But mostly I want to thank my peers and coworkers and friends for giving me your trust. I will do my best, I promise you. But this moment is not about a new title or new badges. It's about responsibility. And more importantly, it's about leadership. In the fire service, leadership isn't just about rank. It's about how we carry ourselves every day. And that's shown in how we serve the public, how we support each other, and how we act when no one's watching. In our profession, real leadership requires courage, strength to speak up when things aren't right, requires the humility to listen. It requires the drive and the grit to keep going when the work gets tough, and it does get tough. Each of the gentlemen we're about to recognize today have already and numerous times clearly demonstrated their ability and willingness to be leaders. And that's why we get to recognize them and why we get to promote them. Guys, whether you're stepping in to a new role as an FAE or as a chief, always be aware that your actions set the tone for those around you. Sorry, got lost in the moment. Your goal should not be to command from the top, but rather to lead from within. Your goal should be to listen, to inspire trust, and to always protect the integrity of our department and every one of our members. Firefighting is a team sport, so we are only as strong as the trust that we have in each other. And with you all leading the way, I'm beyond confident that we are strong enough to overcome every challenge. But enough from me. Let's get to the good stuff. Chief Effner.
All right, good morning. I had the opportunity to speak about the fire apparatus engineer, as we call it, the FAE. I can't think of a more important position in the fire service than that position, how critical it is. It is their responsibility to ensure that the apparatus is ready for any response that takes place, the cleanliness, the promptness of the response, and how important it is that they become so in tune with their apparatus just by opening doors. They'll recognize that, hey, something's missing or something's out of line, or C-shift left something dirty. Whatever it may be that takes place, that is the responsibility of this FAE. They then must learn their territory and everything about it, the uniqueness of the buildings that are there, the response that will be needed, the wonderful traffic that we have, and what's our best response area to it. The FAE is a critical part. We then allow them to be the first line of supervisors in our organization in the absence of an officer. It is their responsibility to run the station and assist in that matter. They also make sure that they act as a liaison between the crew and the officer of the station. What an important role it is to have an FAE. And even though fire apparatus will continue to evolve and change, it is their responsibility to make sure that they're ready and prepared for any event or any emergency or non-emergency event that takes place. The greatest part about the entire thing is there's been great fire apparatus engineers throughout the years, and today we get to recognize and add 2 more to that list. So this morning, I have the excitement to introduce our 2 newest ones, which will be Brandon Decker and Josh Schumann. Gentlemen, congratulations on your promotion. We look forward to some great things from you. Each one of these gentlemen got to pick someone to speak on their behalf, and first for Brandon Decker, Lieutenant Dave Palmer.
All right, those of y'all that know me know that I do not like the spotlight. I have a hard time speaking in public, and I am very, very, very long-winded. Just kidding. Brandon, thank you for asking me to do this for you. I remember sitting at 86. Rhett came out of his office and went to the table. Chief came over. We were doing our chief thing, and he said, "Hey, you guys are getting Decker." I said, "Okay, what do we know about it?" "I don't know. He's a paramedic up north." Cool. But Rhett said something that was pretty amazing. "I know his dad." And anybody who's had to follow their father into the fire service knows that is a huge, huge thing, especially one that's well respected. Brandon showed up, and we were at the island, and we were talking, and I realized a few things. Number one, Brandon likes to talk more than me. It's a thing. I didn't know that. Number two, Brandon is a fantastic paramedic. He loves the EMS world. Loves the EMS world. But number three, he loves this job. I believe he was a volunteer before he came on with us. He might have been a shift worker here and there. But he loves being a Jake. And the calls you run, you can tell Brandon loved being a Jake. Now, I was the old driver. I was the 20-year driver at the station, kind of set in my ways. I think you could say that. And I had a new guy who wanted to do stuff. And I'm like, oh. But we got out and we did it, and we did it, and we kept doing it because Brandon just wanted to do it. And it reinvigorated me, a 20-something-year guy. I want to get out there and do it, right? And then we've changed now. I'm a lieutenant at the station, and I love my guys getting out there doing it. I get out there with them. So Brandon reinvigorated me, all right? But today, you're getting collar brass. And it is a very important thing, not only because it actually weighs your collar down, but it's supposed to. First thing you get is the authority. The chief gave you the authority to be the engineer. You're in charge of the truck, period. Your truck, your way. But the chief also gives you the responsibility. And that responsibility is to make it better. make this place better. I can't think of anything else more noble than to want to step into a position to where you can make it better. So with that said, come on up. We get you your new brass and your day boots. I'll hold these. All right.
Randomly will be pinned by his wife, Miss Jessica. Congratulations. Next, Josh Schumann has chosen Captain Matt Bozer.
There's a lot of you in here. All right, so I do not have good public speaking skills. I'm absolutely terrified to be up here, and I think Schumann did this to me as a joke. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to recognize you today. Schumann, it's well-deserved on your promotion. We've worked together for a while. You're one of the few that I truly think gets it. You love the truck. You have the passion to do what you need to do. You enjoy coming to work. You're great to work for. You're great to work with. On the fire ground, your leadership qualities have not gone unnoticed. We're incredibly grateful that you're actually here serving this community because you left another agency to come here and you realized how great this agency is. I can't say enough about your dedication to your family. To me, one of the most impressive qualities that you have is that your son, who can't be here today if everybody knows, he works for the city of Gainesville. And that's the biggest sacrifice that you have to have now, is that your son had to learn in this career that sometimes he has to miss things. But it's such a great honor that your son chose to take the same career that you did. And it's such a great testament to your character that he decided to emulate you and have a career in the city of Gainesville. And I cannot be more proud of you for doing that and allowing him to follow in your footsteps. We all know you're a leader. I'm very excited for what you're going to do. I have this whole thing written out and I completely butchered it. I will tell you, one day, I truly do look forward to not only working with you, but working for you, because I think you have a bright future in this organization, and I cannot be more proud of you today. And I wish you'd come up here and get your stuff.
Josh will be being pinned by his wife, Miss Andrea.
Good morning. It's an honor and privilege to be here this morning to speak on behalf of the lieutenant promotion. Today we gather not just to mark promotion, but to recognize a transition, a step into a role that carries greater responsibility, deeper trust, and higher expectations. The rank of lieutenant is simply not a title, It is a commitment to lead, to guide, and to serve. In the fire service, the position of lieutenant generally is the first rank of supervision and leadership. The insignia or the collar brass that comes with this position, a single gold bugle, more accurately known as a speaking trumpet, has deep roots in the fire service tradition. In the early years, long before radios, long before modern communication, radios, the bugle, or the speaking trumpet, was the voice of command on the fire ground. Officers would use it to call orders through chaos, rally their crews, coordinate efforts when seconds meant the difference between loss and survival. Today, that bugle no longer projects sound, but still carries the same weight. It symbolizes leadership, the ability to communicate clearly, the responsibility to direct others in the heat of the moment. Wearing it means that you are trusted to make decisions when the pressure is at the highest, to be the calm in the storm, and to ensure that every firefighter under your watch returns home safely. As a lieutenant, you're not only a tactical leader on the fire ground, but also a mentor in the firehouse. You set the tone for your crew, you model professionalism, uphold the values that make this department strong: integrity, accountability, teamwork, and service. This promotion is not only a reward for past work, it is an investment into the future. It's a promise to the citizens we protect that when the alarm sounds, the person wearing the bugle will be ready to lead with courage, to communicate with clarity, and to act with purpose. Today, we congratulate you not just for achieving this rank, but on accepting the challenges and responsibilities that come with it. May you wear the bugle proudly, lead with honor, continue to make a difference in the lives that you serve. And now, for Peto's promotion, I'd like to introduce Captain Les Lance, who will be speaking on his behalf.
Good morning. Welcome again. Exciting times these. I'm a member of Station 81B, but more so than that, I'm a proud Alpharetta firefighter. And it's my honor today to stand here and introduce to you Lieutenant Richard Peto Zabala, our newest fire officer. Peto, it's a privilege to see Brandy and Noel and family here to stand in support of you today. Early on, Lieutenant Zabala committed himself to excellence in the fire service. He pursued and completed his college education at the University of Central Florida with a bachelor's in finance and went on to earn his certification as a nationally registered paramedic. His career began with American Medical Response and Gwinnett County Fire, where he has laid a strong foundation in fire and EMS. These early experiences made him a highly sought-after candidate when he applied to Alpharetta Fire. Since coming to Alpharetta, Lieutenant Zabala has been instrumental in bringing some of our industry's best practices into our department. He hasn't just contributed, he has owned key pieces of what we do today. From shaping the probationary firefighter task book to improving hose load configurations on our engines, his fingerprints are all over our progress. As a leader and field training officer, Lieutenant Zabala left a lasting impression on his department. His influence spans recruits, lateral transfers, and current members alike. His style, professionalism, and effort have shaped the careers of many, and it's those same qualities that bring him here today, stepping into a greater leadership role. Twice, Lieutenant Zabala has stepped up to the acting lieutenant position, and twice his peers have nominated him and selected him as Firefighter of the Year. Peto, from your former family at 81B, Jeremy, Robbie, Mike, Akil, Brandon, and myself, we want to say thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your friendship. And we wish you the best. Now, as a new co-leader of the double company on C shift at the 83 house, he is charged with the health and welfare of his new team, both mentally and physically. Their training, morale, and discipline are now in his hands, and I know he will guide them with the steady hand and humble confidence he's always shown. To Brian, Matt, Sean, Ryan, and Pepe, your team has gained a true asset. You've got a leader who will remain calm through the chaos, steady through the storm, and committed to helping each of you grow into the best version of yourselves. As for the future, Lieutenant, your ladder to success stretches high above the roofline, and your path is clear. Captain is just an arm's reach away, and the chief officer's position is not far beyond that. Each rung brings more responsibility, more impact, and more opportunity to serve both your community and this department. Lieutenant Zabala, we wish you nothing but continued success and Godspeed in your journey. Congratulations. Come on up.
Pito is being pinned today by his wife, Brandy, and daughter, Noel.
Good morning. Today, I'm going to speak on behalf of the fire captains and the vital role that the fire captain plays within our rank structure. In the fire service, the hierarchy has typically progressed through the ranks of firefighter, driver, lieutenant, captain, on to chief officer. The fire captain plays a central role in this structure. As a leader of a fire company, the captain is responsible for the people, the apparatus assigned to that unit. In many stations, especially the single apparatus ones, the captain also manages the overall operations of the station, ensuring that everything runs smoothly. A captain supervises the lieutenants and the drivers, guiding their development and ensuring consistency across the shifts and the crews. The captain's role is to lead, mentor, maintain operational readiness, not just by overseeing daily routines and training, but by setting the tone in professionalism and performance. At emergency scenes, the captain may take command, acting as the incident commander and coordinating the entire response effort. The role requires confidence, experience, and the ability to make split-second decisions under pressure. Beyond day-to-day operations, the fire captain is also a key part of our department's leadership pipeline. When the battalion chief is off duty or unavailable, the captain often steps up and fills in the role, maintaining continuity and leadership across the battalion. Captains earn their positions through years of service, demonstrated leadership, and success in competitive promotional processes. Simply put, the fire captain is not just a rank, it's a cornerstone of our organization. Today, we have one individual, Bruce Hartman, that is being recognized and promoted into fire captain. He has chosen yours truly to speak on his behalf. With that, Bruce, I would like to say I'm truly honored that you've chosen me to speak on your behalf today. It means a lot. I've had the privilege of working closely with Bruce over the years. It's been a front row seat to watching someone grow into the kind of leader that our department needs. Bruce has been part of my shift for many years. He served as a firefighter, driver, lieutenant, and now captain. I've seen him in every role, and I can tell you this. He's always been the guy who shows up, steps up, and never hesitates when something needs to be done. He's the kind of firefighter you can count on, not just in the heat of the moment, but in the everyday grind. The one who picks up the slack without complaint and sets a tone for those around him. Now, I will tell you, one of my first images that really sticks out of Bruce goes back to, some of y'all will remember, the legendary Alpharetta Fire versus Police football game. So while many of us were standing around wondering if it was a good idea for a bunch of grown men to put on full pads and play a contact football game, in comes Bruce, full William Wallace Braveheart face paint. And it was unforgettable at that time, but I knew then it wasn't a good idea that we play that game. So if anybody wants to know afterwards, we can discuss the outcome of that. But at that moment, that was just a preview of the spirit Bruce brings to everything he does. Fearlessly, all in, and a little bit wild. And I do emphasize all in and a little bit wild. Since then, Bruce has come a long way. He's grown into a steady, thoughtful leader who takes pride in helping others learn. He's someone who doesn't just do the job, he teaches the job. And not just tactics, but attitude, work ethic, and pride in doing things right, doing things the right way. Now, as captain, Bruce is stepping into a role he's been building towards for years. And while he may no longer show up with his face painted, we hope, he still brings that same intensity, passion, and dedication to the fire service daily. Undoubtedly, he will continue to lead with integrity, humility, and heart. And we're lucky to have him. Congratulations, Bruce. Come on up. Bruce is being pinned by his daughter, Michaela, and son, Mason. Nerves. I got to do the speech.
Good morning. In 1946, perhaps one of the greatest fire loss tragedies occurred right here in our own backyard. The Weinkauf Hotel in downtown Atlanta was a modern feat of engineering. Just as the Titanic could not sink, the Weinkauf could never burn down. However, similar fates led to 119 people perishing in a fire at the Weinkauf. Most of them were young girls, part of a Future Female Leaders of Georgia conference. That night, we perhaps lost some of the state's most outstanding leaders that we have ever had to offer. An Atlanta battalion chief once spoke about that night. This man stormed the beaches of Normandy on D-Day and fought across Europe. Eventually, he was sent to Belgium for a little R&R, a location in which ended up being the Battle of the Bulge, a battle resulting in over 80,000 American casualties. Upon the end of his service, he returned to his hometown of Atlanta to join the Atlanta Fire Department. A man who had seen so much trauma and carnage in a foreign war stated that his first fire that he ever fought, the Weinkauf Hotel, was the worst night of his life. He often stated that is what kept him up at night. Not a foreign war, but a hotel in his own community. Marshall, you are now the first line of defense, ensuring that each person in this room and each person in our community will never have the worst night of their day, of their lives. To do this, you will be expected to be an expert on architectural design, building engineering, fire and life safety, system design, and installation. You will be expected to be an expert on fire dynamics and human behavior during emergencies. You will be expected to be an expert on educational practices and curriculum delivery. You will be expected to be an expert investigator, knowing the science of fire, legal precedent, and preserving constitutional rights. You will be expected to be the face of the fire department, representing not just every firefighter in this room, but the service as a whole. As you take on this endeavor, always remember to ask yourself, how will you prevent the worst day in someone's life? I also have the honor to speak on Marshall's behalf today. Marshall, everything I just discussed brings its own unique set of challenges to a professional. It's a daunting task to be expected to be an expert on so many disciplines. But you have earned this position. Your character, work ethic, and drive to lead us to a better tomorrow have earned you this opportunity and further the trust of everyone in this room. I first met Marshall when we both served in another fire department. Marshall has always had an aura of greatness and a reputation of success. He may have never known, but whenever he exited a room, it was often said with full sincerity, "There goes a future fire chief." That is why I was elated when I heard that Marshall was chosen to continue his career in Alpharetta. Like so many in this room, Marshall saw what a great opportunity it is to serve the city and how much potential there is for greatness. Marshall quickly earned the respect of his peers and his organization through his actions. He sets the standard of what it means to put the community and the department before the self. He always seeks opportunities for improvement and to contribute to the excellence of meeting our mission. Also, you have raised the department's hair standards to significant new heights. Welcome to our team, Marshall. We're incredibly humbled to serve by your side. We look forward to the forever impact you will have on this office, this department, and of course, this community. If you would please join us. So today we're honoring Assistant Fire Marshal Van Nuss with the shadow box. Within the shadow box is collar brass and patches from every department and position that he has served in. We hope it serves as a reminder of where you came from, how you got here, and to always serve the mission of the fire department. Let me hold on to this for you for now. So, pinning Assistant Fire Marshal Van Nuss is his lovely wife, Angelina. Oh, there it is.
The training chief is one of the most pivotal roles in the fire department. So much more than just an instructor or coordinator. They are the foundation of our operational readiness, from the onboarding of new recruits to the sharpening of skills for seasoned veterans. This position has a responsibility of ensuring that every member of the organization has the required knowledge, tools, and confidence to operate safely and effectively under pressure and in high-risk situations. In our profession, preparation is not optional. It's the foundation, the very key to success. And the training chief is the engine behind that preparation. Through vision, innovation, and leadership, the role drives the evolution of our training programs that meet today's challenges as well as tomorrow's. So when we promote someone to this role, we're not just handing over a new title. We're entrusting them with the future of our department. It takes a great deal more than just technical skill to be successful in this role. It takes someone who can mentor, inspire, lead. It takes someone who understands and can balance between tradition and progress. It takes someone who commands respect, not by demanding it, but by going out every day and consistently earning it. That's a long set of very tough requirements, and I can think of nobody more deserving, more capable than the man I get to speak about now. I've worked with Adam in a number of roles over the years, and in thinking back across all those, trying to distill my experiences down to one anecdote, one stands out in particular. I was the captain at Station 83, and he was an acting lieutenant. We had been a couple weeks into that assignment, and I felt like I saw an opportunity as the senior officer to extend and pass on some knowledge to a younger and junior officer, try to give him a leg up, maybe help him succeed where I had failed. So as we're talking, and he's sitting there very respectfully engaged, and I'm trying to pass on these pearls of wisdom that I had earned through failure, repeated failure. I recognized in Adam's face certainly respect and appreciation for what I was saying, but also this very interesting mix of almost amusement and boredom. And it took me a moment, but I kind of realized, or I eventually realized, that he had that expression because he already knew everything I was talking about. Not because somebody had taught him before, but that's just who Adam is. He doesn't just know this job, he truly gets the job. The people, the purpose, the pride, the responsibility. He leads quietly, by example. He's humble, intelligent, extremely hardworking. It's not just what he knows, it's how he carries himself. He treats everyone with respect, listens more than he talks, and shows up ready, always, for everything. That's why so many of us have looked at him as a role model for so long, long before he had this title or any other. As training chief, Adam is now in a position to shape how we grow. Not just in skills and tactics, but in professionalism and integrity. And I can think of nobody more qualified and capable to do that job. So please join me in congratulating our new training chief, Adam Wade. Being pinned by his wife, Courtney, with help from LJ, Bexley, and parents. As we come to the end of the ceremony today, I'd like to take a moment and reflect on the significance of what we've just seen and participated in. Promotion in the fire service is never just given. It's earned through years of dedication, service, sacrifice. And today we've been able to recognize multiple individuals who've demonstrated time and again their integrity, their leadership, and their deep commitment to serving their colleagues and their community. These promotions mark not just the next step in a career, but the assumption of greater responsibility. With each new collar brass that we've pinned today comes the expectation to lead with humility, to mentor with purpose, and to continue representing the best of what this department stands for. To our families and friends, thank you for being here. Your support, your understanding, your sacrifice may sometimes go unnoticed, but never unappreciated. We could not do what we do without the strength and love that we draw from you all. To the members of our department, today be a reminder to all of us what's possible through dedication and service. Let it inspire each of us to continue striving for excellence in all that we do. And finally, to our newly promoted members, congratulations. Carry your new titles with pride, but more importantly, carry them with purpose. The trust that's been placed in you today is not just a recognition of your past, but a belief in your future. Thank you all for being here to celebrate this momentous occasion. Stay safe.